I'll wait a few seconds before I say that again. Or before I start the broadcast message again, the returning broadcast message. Sorry. You're welcome. Got stuck. Had a holiday. But I remembered I had only a few days to return my headphones to Amazon. That Sony got forced to produce with a smaller dongle without their prior acknowledgement. Yeah, someone had a bunch of pedophiles. I mean, not a bunch of pedophiles, but a bunch of pedophiles linked to a bunch of pedophiles basically hacked their networks and reestablished an old dongle setup for something that they supposedly had updated the second they had made new Apple devices. But this was to deter Sony's licensing rights, or possibility of getting licensing rights. Also, it was also due to the fact that the pedophiles in the area were using my network and claiming to be me and claiming to be not making a lot of money, or at least distributing whatever money I make or whatever anything I make back into like the system, into the public system, or the public basically public use to make sure the world actually rotates, opposed to a bunch of pedophiles roaming around raping a bunch of females and the world rotating that way. So they got hacked, and their high-end headphones that they released for like that are like $100 worth for only like $5-10. They started putting in like minor fucking issues, because I mean the quality is just better than 90% of the $100 headphones that you get. It's so sad, but for at least a lot of the lower sounds, like for at least for how clean and distinct most of it is, opposed to like I guess when you're doing a higher bitmap or higher sound engine, it's still not as, I don't know. I don't like high-end headphones. They sound like garbage usually. They don't do the bass right. They do too much fucking pedophile treble or something. They plagiarize my identity so much that the treble gets on my nerves. So I guess that's why I don't like them. But either way, I mean, AirPods are complete garbage. Sorry, I haven't used AirPods. I've heard the mics. Sorry, that's going off of the mics. The mics sound like crap. Now that I think about it. Whatever though. So they got pissed. They didn't get pissed. The pedophiles basically hacked their systems, and I basically did a return. But I canceled my pickup return, and the pedophiles reestablished it, or never let the system process everything. So, sorry. And then pedophiles lied about everything. So whatever. So they gave me my money back, and they let me keep the headphones as a result of these pedophiles actually hacking their systems and then being able to verify it in a third-party means that they themselves aren't able to basically take to court, due to the fact that these pedophiles have a bunch of pedophiles working for them. And as I stated, pedophile even had pedophiles join my group of friends, and the pedophiles claimed to not even know pedophiles. That's how the pedophiles roamed around my town for a while. Or around my group, actually, not town, but group. I maxed out on these. Finally, today's the last day. I didn't even realize it. I was looking at these, and I was like, oh, well, I have enough. And I looked at the date, and today's the last date. The last day, so it's kind of savage. And this one I'm hoping to get the rename card, even though I don't really change my name often. It's so worth it. It's because I don't change my name often that those are worth it. Otherwise, they would not be worth it. That's like $5 per name change. I mean, at least it's less expensive than what it's been in the past, and less expensive than what these pedophiles released in other networks. So, I mean, it's like a 50-50. Season 1. Oh, man. I don't know if I want to sit here watching this for a few minutes. Actually, I know it's not going to give me credit for it, but oh man, it's not letting me watch later. Oh yeah, it is. Oh wait, never mind. I'm not trying to watch later. Oh, that's cool. That's cool. That's cool. I forgot these are pre-recorded from like 4 to 10 years ago. And these are all the pedophile networks and just the. These are all the pedophiles that they basically used to lie to everyone else. And they're like, oh well, the pedophiles are gonna lie to you and claim that it's live, and that's the whole point of it. So that's how the pedophile networks get around. How many days I have left? Man, that's savage. Alright. I'm gonna make this for a few minutes. I have to gain some tier points today. So I think that's all I'll be doing, just pushing tiers. accidentally spent AG without realizing that there was like a few days left, but whatever. I'm gonna restart this just in case it still gets me into this match with this kid or with this player. Oh, what? It kicked me out of the fucking match. What the hell? Oh, well, they reset this menu. The pedophiles hacked my device. Now they reset the menu. That's crazy. The menu to the left has the regular buttons that they had from the previous update, or from like the previous version, like 50 fucking versions ago. That's crazy. Pedophiles roamed around that often. What? That's crazy. I feel like roamed around savagely. All from one glitch. Let's see if it restarts it. I highly doubt it. That's crazy. Yup, the pedophiles hacked my game. That's crazy. Not cool. It makes me wonder how different the layout really is now. So savage. Whatever. Gonna mute this for a few minutes and then start a few matches.
Ele vai ter que injetar.
So I got stuck like talking to myself in my head, kind of. I got stuck dealing with all these hacks and whatnot right now. I've been getting hacked. So like I was thinking last match when I was in that little side town to the side of Midstein, looting. When I was about to run across the street for the first time to the two-story building. The actual two-story building. I don't mean the little like small house with the 2 stories, or the 2-story, the small, or the flat top 1 story with the 2nd story being flat top, but like the actual 2-story house. But I was thinking something happened with us. What was it? It was so I was thinking about something of if I could see how I could edit something. And I don't really have much experience in graphical editing or editing type, like that type of editing. Like I don't do too much of it. Like I know what I'm looking for. I know what to do. I know how to push the boundaries of what I have to push, and I know how to do it. Pre-taught in a lot of stuff. I just don't have money. Unfortunately, I got plagiarized for everything. But whatever. One of the pedophile voices in my head was one of the females that I was completely, highly fucking attracted to when I was in like middle school. And as the shocker happened the last few nights due to the fact that I kicked out pedophiles from my house and I stopped eating any food the pedophiles would basically send me, since they were trying to poison me, and they were poisoning me in dream states and other systems also, like controlling time and whatnot. Like they tried running a system, like here, another story from these stories to reflect on. When I was in middle school, I was in band for a while, since I really wanted to play like the guitar and sax. Actually, I really wanted to play the saxophone out of that type of band environment, and I figured I could learn some percussion or some like guitar or something. But saxophone was too expensive, so I ended up going with the trumpet. Mom was siding with pedophiles at the time, so pedophilia was technically what was overriding all thought processes now, as I now reflect back onto the exact memories, exact brainwaves, exact processes, everything, due to the fact that I've been raped so many times by these pedophiles. It's as if I'm reliving the exact memory every single fucking time. So whatever. So one of the band trips that we took was to Disneyland. As we were on the haunted house ride, I remember being on the right side of the seats. As we went through, I closed my fucking eyes since I had a fear of like ghosts and stuff of that nature. But I guess these were all like the ghosts. These were all the past societies that had slept with pedophiles, or aided, or basically pedophile with pedophiles, that had been pedophiled by pedophiles. And so these are all ghosts to me, like dead people. So halfway through the ride, I remember the beginning, I remember closing my eyes, and then like off of the first like segment, like within like 100 feet of that track, I remember the ride stopping and our railing being brought up, and basically the students switched seats and whatnot. But I don't know what that was caused to. But the pedophiles will try to claim that this was a dream state, but it wasn't. I also went to in elementary school, we had gone to like SeaWorld or something, and I had gone to the penguin exhibit, and I think we either went to the penguin exhibit first for my group, or it was something of the sort. They probably closed it down afterwards for me to avoid losing all my stuff, all my realities and whatnot, due to the fact that pedophile bitch had supposedly already betrayed me too. That teacher, and she was super hot. I had the fattest crush on that one. But she tried claiming like the next day when we were supposed to give her stories of her field trip that the penguin exhibit was closed or something by the time they went. And I was like, no, we were fucking in there through that little fucking conveyor belt walkway, whatever. They're through the not tramway. The tram's a train. Through the little walk, through the whatever. Through the electric walkway without the pedophiles and whatnot. So yeah, but whatever. So going back to it, I was pointing out how I could edit something, and they're like, "Oh yeah, if you could imagine yourself editing something like that, then it's really, really easily possible for a bunch of pedophiles to get this shit done. Since you're logically putting it out as an like as a master type amateur in it. So I mean, it's just like master slash learn slash teacher in it. So I guess I could see why, with minimal experience, and even someone with minimal experience could edit this. So whatever, and then it resulted in me reflecting on a dream state of me questioning the pedophile bitch that I was attracted to in middle school if she had slept with pedophile. And I was like, yeah, she had slept with pedophile. And I started doing the whole process of separating my body from that pedophile bitch's body, because that pedophile had been using my body at the time, or had been doing like a fusion type setup, but not really like fusion as in Dragon Ball Z, but instead like overlapping two images, almost like a Scantron image. And then the pedophile basically overrides like whatever I'm doing in dream states. Like I think it's me, but it really doesn't end up being me. So I ended up started to throw these pedophiles out in like bags, trash cans, shit of that nature. Instead of like putting clothes over myself, just over myself, I'd have to like separate their bodies and whatnot, because they were still using like my limbs and whatnot. Since I guess there's no way to get into someone else's dream states, even through memories and whatnot, without actually, there's no way you're using the actual person's body that you're going in through. And these pedophiles would always be using my body in order to claim to be me and stuff of that nature. So that's how that one happened. But after a while, they started using just memories, and they would just use the memories of where they were at. Then the pedophiles would go around raping females. So the pedophile would use the memory of when the pedophile sent me the image of his pedophile area that he had claimed to be sending to another to some pedophile, and the pedophile basically used that to rape a bunch of females. So I mean, I knew what the difference was. Like whenever I'd feel like this this blockage in one of my arteries, like completely just released, like instead of or like the swelling of my arm, like it would completely unswell, or like my hyperextended shoulder would unhyperextend. That's the best way I could put it. Like all those muscles that were hyperextended due to the fact that pedophile bitch had basically an arm up her vagina, and she's like part of my body, or whatever bit of part of my body, or however the hell this whole system works. The second I realized that she had slept with pedophile in real life, and I had started doing the whole system of separating my body from them, and them from me, and them from being able to like send anything to me by them claiming that I'm the person that they were sleeping with in dream states, and I'm like, no, that's not really me. So I'm gonna pull out of everything basically. And these pedophiles would basically at that point started realizing that they were getting caught, but it's like pointless. So like I guess that's the point I was trying to get to in my head, and I guess that's why I had to verbalize it. It's pointless just due to the fact that there's so many pedophiles, such as pedophiles like Zute and whatnot. Those pedophiles, like pedophiles that work for PUBG, that are even aiding these pedophiles and covering up their activity of day-to-day activity, like basic internet activity, even not even VPN style, but basic illegal cover-ups. That's how these pedophiles roam around, and they try to mock me in dream states and shit. And I'm like, dude, first off, no, get the fuck out of my face. Second off, just because you sided with a bunch of fat pedophiles that went around raping females does not mean shit. Then the pedophile one of the fat pedophile announcers that was like laughing and was like siding with pedophiles and thought I wouldn't like be like PTSD'd from his fucking pedophilia type laugh of him trying to cover up how many fucking pedophile bitches they went around raping. Like it's just devastating. And the pedophiles like tried covering up for each other, and I'm like, pedophile with pedophile, you see your pedophiles, at least make sure you separate the pedophiles from everyone. And the government at the very least listens. They're like, so at least he's like on our side by being the inside guy, and he's saying that we go through the same exact thing as long as we call them pedophiles, and we kick out all the pedophiles regardless of what their in-game fucking pedophile names were, and regardless of what pedophile company they were working for, or whatever pedophile company that they work for. We can isolate them and separate them. And it's usually a bunch of fucking pedophile females, so it usually never works. And this is why I got to that point. These pedophiles are always like, they have so many different pedophiles that got manipulated by these pedophiles that it's impossible. So I mean, I got stuck, and I was trying to think of a rebuttal to tell this bitch, like, why are you so shocked? It's not like you pedophiles, like, it's not like you're losing anything. You're just getting kicked straight the fuck back out to your fucking pedophile old self. It's like I don't know how to say that to them. Like, all their pedophiles went around plagiarizing all my work. All their pedophiles went around claiming to be me after I kicked them out, completely denied them everything. And all their pedophile networks try to falsify this information due to the fact that the pedophiles went around plagiarizing and selling each other's pedophiles that they used to call wives. They would even call males wives just because the pedophiles would roam around so often, using a bunch of different pedophiles to cover everything up, regardless of the pedophiles' ages. All because one pedophile went and committed suicide, or tried to commit suicide, but the pedophile couldn't die because he was in my family. So the pedophile roamed around claiming to be me to multiple societies. Now the pedophiles have like a bunch of different shows, such as like the pedophile bees. I think the Willoughbys or the pedophiles. That's how the pedophile bees. That's how the pedophiles. Sorry, the pedophiles. I see why that joke hit too much that I couldn't stop saying it. But the pedophiles basically teamed up and started covering up for all the other pedophile networks as just both pedophiles, and the pedophiles claimed to be me, just different parts of me, different parts of my identity. They just split up my identity in that many different ways through all these pedophile networks. And all the pedophiles roam around raping females. One pedophile will like join up with pedophile, and the pedophiles will rape a bunch of random pedophiles, and they try to cover up like what they're doing. So I mean, it's just devastating. Kind of like this pedophile day that we have today. Off to my next match. I keep getting sideswiped just because I don't pay attention anymore. I've been too nervous off of one side. I keep checking just one side, and I end up getting killed every time. I think it's all the pedophile networks. mean, the worst part is that this pedophile whore thought I wouldn't know. Like, that this whole time, all those feelings I had for her were really from the fact that she had slept with a pedophile in real life. And they had fucking claimed to be me. They had claimed to be me to the whole fucking world. And I had all this like pent up, like all these pent up feelings and whatnot, and everything finally got released out of nowhere, out of me just realizing that she had been sleeping with pedophiles, and that's where those feelings actually came from. It's from the pedophiles claiming to be me, using my identity, me naturally thinking that she's vibing towards me because it's like, oh, she's vibing towards my identity, towards my mannerisms or my towards my movements or towards my emotions, whatever. But in reality, she had been raped by, she had slept with pedophiles, and she was just like getting a joy out of fucking lying to me in my face type reality. That's how pedophilia runs. They used my dick for everything. That this is how the pedophiles roamed around. How they even used my image. Oh, no way. On. Oh no, it is. That's clutch. I had two guys in the building with me, and I was both just like magically disappeared. Oh, whoops. The crazy part with all these dream states, the pedophiles tried lying about everything. Like, I didn't like point everything out in a way that I'm able to like decipher when they're gonna lie or falsify information, to the point where they still tried. I still beat them. I still even pointed it out to them, that they even like go back and backtrack, and they just like avoid that part of the conversation. Savage as fuck. That's how pedophiles also claim. Like, whenever I say say anything like savage, if a pedophile like is like trying to claim anything I say, the pedophile will even try to claim that was like towards them or anything of that nature. It's the worst thing dealing with pedophiles. I'm so frustrated that I don't have a gun to shoot the pedophile through their pedophile heads. Same thing with whatever pedophiles let them into my house. So fucking disgusting. They even have a bunch of pedophile cops that showed up to my house and fucking pulled out their fucking penis and started jacking off, and like laid down on my couch and started jacking off. The pedophile thought just because none of their fucking pedophiles are on the side. It's a bot. Dang it. That's savage. And the worst part is that pedophile that exposed himself to me. The pedophile that had arrested me a few weeks ago. Not really arrested me, but detained me and taken me to the hospital due to the fact that their pedophiles got scared that they were being exposed and that this pedophile knew or was part of their pedophile group and it was too close to them. So they like instantly like took me as like to try to cover up all their pedophile traces. As a result, the pedophile started advertising a bunch of illegal commercials to me, based off their pedophile network and all the and all the pedophiles that they had basically raped, plagiarized. I mean, sorry, all the pedophiles that they had raped and all the everything that pedophiles had plagiarized. Pedophiles, and the pedophiles basically just use that word in order to cover up their pedophilia. So I mean, it's basically what happens. It's kind of why it's pointless. Too many pedophiles siding with pedophiles, so I just kind of completely ignore the pedophiles by this point. Or I try to. Not really possible, but you know, attempts are made. That's what was happening. savage. That's so savage. Third party. Pedophile network. Sided with pedophile bitches. I thought that they could get a kill. They finally sided with me, but they had already slept with pedophiles. Thought I wouldn't know. This is what ends up happening. All the guys that are on my side, because I expose all these pedophiles and all the pedophile wars that they rape throughout every country, throughout every fucking system. I mean, these pedophiles they hack my connection to throw off my vehicle's line, driving line, and that's how the pedophiles claim to be me. Even through all my previous streams, all my previous driving lines, all the lines that I would choose, all the lines that I technically try to take. They try to hit. That's how all these pedophiles basically would roam around. So all these pros started realizing it, started dropping into my dream states. All these other pros, all these other pedophile pros that are basically just hacking. A bunch of pedophiles actually is what it is. It's the worst of the worst pedophiles. That pedophile Zute is like one of the worst of the worst pedophiles. They hacked in order to get to their fucking, to get to anything. Anything you see from them is all hacks. 100% hack-based systems. Their connections are even catered to in order to prevent their identities from being exposed in like a data signal that's sent out. Like it's challenging to explain that one, but like as they're playing, most other communities started setting up like IDs, so you know, so the smartest of the smartest people would naturally know the difference in sound, due to the fact that everything is just that. Every person that wants a beard basically is what it was at that point. And most of these most of these pros don't like pedophiles that are basically that side with pedophiles that had beards or whatever, and are now just using my whatever I had or would have had from any of these pedophile communities. So they started isolating these issues, and they started like all the pedophiles from the U.S. and other neighboring countries started doing what's it called? Muffling. They would muffle like the sound and whatnot. They started doing like a VPN network. So half these pedophiles that you see making videos and whatnot, like getting on like high kill streaks, when you see that they don't know, when you see how other players don't notice them, it's due to the fact that they're hacking. It's due to the fact that their character in game isn't registered. I mean, it's a registered pedophile, but in game they're not showing up. They don't log in or do anything like that. It's just like a fucking pedophile that basically died, and a bunch of autonomous systems basically bombing their characters from the sky. A bunch of UAV drones, and then they just edit it and claim that the pedophile killed them. That's how these pedophiles went around from network to network, hacking systems. It's just an old system that they've been doing it for years. It's been done for years, not just by pedophiles that claim to be the originals, but by a lot of companies such as Microsoft and whatnot that were supposed to be my coverage, or what ended up offsetting pedophiles and rewriting the market. But pedophiles sided with pedophiles, and pedophiles known as Microsoft and Apple, technically pedophiles roamed around, and they created a bunch of partnerships behind the scenes. Their pedophile jobs is basically a fake identity of a fake person that they killed off themselves. Not too sure if it was an actual pedophile, but it was to cover up a bunch of pedophile identities here in the county of San Diego, that were technically the actual pedophiles plagiarizing everything behind the scenes through other pedophile networks and whatnot. So I mean, as savage as it is to say, that's how these pedophiles roamed around. Sorry, that's how these actually I wouldn't even give them any other name. Just because I'm a network, and all these other pedophiles are pedophiles, just using my image. they sided with pedophiles. So two pedophile bitches that got us killed. They got me killed. That's how it happens. One pedophile bitch sacrifices all her identity and everything else that she would have done off of siding with me to expose what's going to happen, the actual consequences of their of them siding with pedophiles and then siding with me, and then going back and siding with random pedophiles and then sleeping with pedophiles again as the pedophiles claim to be me. Dream states or other systems, actually not dream states, but in real life and dream states. It happens worse whenever it's just dream states. And then it makes itself present in real life within a few months to a few weeks. Sometimes the US uses these systems in order to plagiarize work from other countries' peoples. Since I was born in another country, they technically consider this like an act of war by them bringing me over here illegally. And then them plagiarizing all my work regardless before that. Even though they like everything that happened, how I got brought over is all military based. It was all a bunch of military people there that allowed me to pass through when I was underage, when I was a little baby. I still remember like half this shit, but yeah. And pedophiles even tried telling me in my dream states that they were going after and killing off all these all these people that had sided with me. Just because pedophiles started getting exposed for using my identity and claiming to be me in dream states, and finally their shape shifting or their identity shifting type pedophilia roamed around and caused way too much issues. I'm just gonna avoid that. Not leave. That's hilarious. Savage. I wonder if I even get 15 more. 6. 6. 6. 6. 6. Oh, that's it. 30. So for a total of 30. That sucks. And that means I only get like one more spin. This game is so stupid. Alright, I'm gonna mute this for a bit. Sorry.